Welcome everyone to a new video, a new blog. If this is your first time, don't forget to subscribe. Let's begin. Arturo Manuel Moreno. He resigned from the presidency November 15, 2020, just a few days ago. Peru has had three presidents in the last 2 years. What's happening in Peru? Well, let me tell you a bit of Peru's history. Pedro Pablo Kuczynski. He resigned from the presidency in 2018. He was about to be removed from office by the National Congress. It is not the first case that a Peruvian president gets ousted, and is not and will not be the last. The Peruvian political instability in general will last. There's a lot to fix in the Peruvian political state. Allow me this opportunity to welcome all to your channel, My World Andino. If this is your first visit to this channel, or if you have not yet subscribed, I invite you to subscribe, to activate the bell so that you can receive all future notifications of my future videos. I like to invite you to share with others to grow our community. I want to emphasize that my videos are prejudice free. They're meant to inform and for you to come up with your own conclusions. Let's continue, my friends. The Peruvian Congress came to dismiss Mauricio Vizcarra after approving the second vacancy request against him. He was accused of moral incapability, accused of an alleged bribe of $359 million dollars in exchange for illicit public acts. When he was governor of Moquegua, Vizcarra also hired a not so famous singer as a ministerial motivational coach for about 3 months. Vizcarra was not impeached by justice for those accusations. Previously, former President Pedro Pablo Kuczynski was subject to the vacancy process twice. Eventually, he had to resign March 2018, shortly before the decision got put to the vote. On September 30th, before he had to resign, Vizcarra dissolved Congress. When Congress returned to work, Vizcarra got replaced by the one who was president of Congress. We all know that name now, Manuel Moreno, Arturo Manuel Moreno, member of the Action Popular Party. He was elected congressman by the Department of Thumbs in January 2020. So just like a month and a half before he became interim president. Manuel Moreno became president or interim president, although he had only received 5,272 votes. Yeah. After Vizcarra was ousted, protests in Lima, Peru, and other cities, mm, let's say, they caught on fire, they got bigger. Hmm? People were getting sick and tired of the Congress not listening or asking what the people want. They're just instating and dismissing presidents as they want. Protests have not stopped. These protests are not in support of Martin Alberto Vizcarra. They are in rejection of the maneuvers, actions, decisions of the Congress and against the Peruvian political class in general. The OAS, Organization of American States, has limited themselves to saying that Mr. Merino should have respected the electoral schedule of electoral schedule. Elections in Peru are scheduled for April 2021. If this situation was happening in Venezuela or Bolivia, Congress would have been accused of dictators, of robbing the people, being undemocratic, but because it is a nation where they have hands, they're not saying anything. The first president of Bolivia after its independence was José de la Riva Agüero. He was also the first Peruvian president to be removed in 1823. And remember what I just said, the first president of Bolivia after its independence. And he was removed from presidency. And this took place 1823. Other presidents who have released from presidency are Guillermo Billinghurst in 1914, Alberto Fujimori in the 2000s, and this dude, Alberto Fujimori, he deserves to have been removed. Here is the very reason why Peru it is in the crisis that it is right now in the present time. He changed the constitution to favor the political class and corporations. Okay, and we all know about 2020 Martin Vizcarra. Okay, so the president can hardly make decisions without Congress endorsement. Perhaps this sounds democratic to you, but the truth is that it turns Peru into a slow and ineffective in its governmental and legislative performance, most of the time ungovernable. When there is a profound lack of coordination between the president and Congress, one seeks to vacate the president or the president dissolves Congress. Hmm? It just doesn't work. Constitution has to be changed, like I said. These actions are turning Peru into a nation of crisis. This had to be, this had not been experienced in recent years, but right now there is a power vacuum in Peru. In the early hours of the morning of Sunday, November 15, after Congress returned to work, they had meetings and they demanded the resignation of Arturo Manuel Moreno for his inability to stabilize Peru. To me, that's very unfair because he was only interim president for a couple of days. Let us remember that since President Vizcarra was dismissed, there have been protests in many, and many have become violent. 40 people have disappeared, 2 people have died and suffered damages due to clashes with the police. Arturo Merino had announced being a Democrat and asked for serenity, peace, and calm to the citizens, trying to normalize life in Peru. What caught my attention is that Mr. Arturo Merino, he appointed 13 ministers. By the time he left the power, 11 of them had resigned. There's no reason for them to resign. So right now, I'm aware that someone else has been appointed to as interim president. But if someone has not been placed as interim president, there would have been a vacuum, a power vacuum in the government of Peru. On many occasions, when something like that happens, the government councils has been seen overtaken by the military commissions. This would be a severe mistake. It is known that armed forces they like to think they're taking care of people. But what happens is that there is a military dictatorship that gets built. The power vacuum that could exist in Peru if an interim president does not stay put until April is that Peru can become ungovernable. There could be the army could come in and take the place of governments, and then it's just a big mess. I've seen it happen in other countries. Um, so let's move on here. Arturo Manuel Moreno is an intelligent person. Let's not forget that he was president of Congress. Only less than a week ago, he realized that as president or as interim president, even though he had not made too many decisions, he could have he could very easily be blamed for everyone that for for what's happening in Peru at the moment, for the instability, for the 40 people that have been that can be found, for the two people that have passed away, and all the damage done to the communities in Peru. So I do believe that he could smell that, and that's why he resigned. The legislators have washed their hands, accusing the president, whoever is in president, of their inexperience, and they say, and they just wash their hands and they stay in power. That's why a lot of them don't want to be president. They just want to be ministers. Hmm? The president pays the consequences. That is why it is impossible to govern in Peru. Okay. Falling into a military dictatorship, it's a danger. It's a danger in Peru at the moment. Um, Only when people get to pick their president, the legislators of the assembly, and change the constitution, tranquility and progress in Peru will return. My friends, thank you for staying to this point of the video. I do appreciate your time. I hope the information I have provided to you helps you understand a little bit what's going on in Peru. But before I end this video, I want to ask you to be there for someone in your community. You know, like at least say hi, how are you? And when possible, help them. I know we can help everyone. We have our own problems. But it's Christmas time. Well, we're nearing Christmas time, and a lot of people get a little bit depressed. So brighten someone's day. Okay? Well, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Till next video. Ciao ciao for now. Try